Noviembre. Oh, boy. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 152 of the Alter Ego Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, Mr. Ryan.
How's it going?
Stay Black and Die Studios.
Love it. I don't know what to say to that.
Rhino up there in the land of enchantment. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Good to hear it. Mr. Nello, welcome back.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
How are you?
You
ready to bring your thunder or interrupt everything we say?
It's coming. I've started already.
Oh my goodness. What a good week. What a good week for news and things happening here. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Okay, so we got some stuff we got to talk about first. First and foremost, to let you know, we will not be here next week. One of our usual contributors, Miss Megan Austin, is having a birthday. So that date is not her birthday, but that's the first day we can do anything. So that's what we're doing.
When is her birthday?
The 23rd, right?
Yep. Wow. Good for you.
Wow.
23rd. I didn't know. Sorry.
No, that's accurate. Yep, the 23rd. She is turning an undisclosed age at an undisclosed time, and you will just be happy for her.
25.
Yes.
Good number.
That being said,
Good
let's get into it, shall we? There is a current SAG strike, Screen Actors Guild, and a Writers Guild strike in Hollyweird. It is happening right now. I want to talk a little bit about that, specifically everybody's favorite Disney CEO, Bob Iger. He's had some interesting things to say regarding the SAG strike, saying that they have unrealistic expectations with the strike, and that they want to be paid a little too much, paid what they're not going to make, right? Like he's pretty much saying you're asking for too much. Meanwhile, he's getting ready to make $27 million this year.
Yeah, but he's also running a multi-billion-dollar company. He's not writing a script for Deadpool or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I know this is going to go into a round robin kind of thing. So what I want to do is I want to hear the discussion regarding some of this stuff, and on some of it, I may try to play a little devil's advocate. Right?
Or not.
Let's do both sides here and kind of see where it's coming from. So you're right. Bob Iger is about to make $27 million. He is making, he is running a multi-billion-dollar entertainment company. That is a fact.
There's rumors that they're breaking that whole company up into smaller entities.
There's a chance. So is Marvel what it is right now, standing in front of us without Robert Downey Jr.?
No.
Okay.
I would say
that's
that
just
without the Russo brothers.
Okay.
And Feige.
The Russo brothers and Feige, their contributions are very significant to Marvel. They still pale in comparison to what RDJ has given the MCU. Without RDJ, there is no MCU.
And without Favreau.
Yeah, but without Feige, I don't think you have an MCU, period.
They had no plan. They had an idea. They had an idea for a plan after Iron Man, but there was nothing in concrete unless RDJ knocked his performance out of the park. If Iron Man doesn't do what it did in the box office, there may not be a...
Yeah, you're seeing everything get sold if that's the case. By the way, Rhino, you're freezing on our end. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, without Robert Downey Jr. coming in and knocking it out of the park and absolutely destroying Iron Man 1, we may not get what we get right now. Okay. So they're talking about that. They're talking about it was introduced, the idea of replacing background actors with AI.
Yeah.
They're talking about having scripts written by AI.
So, like, the problem with the AI is they want to record a background actor one time,
right,
and then pay them that one time, and then keep that image. And once the AI gets a hold of that image or that person, it can then do anything,
right?
Oh, so they want to keep NIL deals, right?
And they want to keep reusing that person without paying them every time they use that image. They just want to pay them one time, and then keep the rights to that image. So basically, like they created a what's that stupid image thing called NFT.
Okay.
But a digital talking, moving NFT file. Gotcha. They want to keep able to use it, which I think is messed up. If you're going to use what I look like or what I did, you need to keep paying me.
I agree. I kind of feel that, and that's one of the who was it? Was it you, Rhino, that sent me the thing on TikTok from the
guy from The Office?
And he says, Netflix only had to pay the licensor for The Office one time.
Yeah.
Those actors did not get paid every time you streamed The Office. So, I mean, obviously this is not the real numbers. This is just for the example. They got paid $500,000, whatever, the first time they put The Office on there, and The Office made up for, I don't know, what do we think, at least 30% of their viewership?
Well, that was that whole Black Widow argument with Scarlett Johansson, because she had back points on how much money the movie made in movie theaters,
right?
But it was released digitally for $27, so she got zero,
right,
of that revenue because it wasn't in her contract,
right?
All right, but
I think
also The Office started as a syndicated TV show, so they got paid while they were on it, and then they get paid whenever it's on TV for syndication.
In every country, in every language, and so on and so forth.
That's not necessarily their fault.
But the AI thing is different. I mean, you could literally record your voice. They can record your voice one time.
I get it.
And just keep pumping it with shit, and it'll sound exactly like you.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Going back to what Bob Iger said, we'll get back to Bob Iger real quick. My biggest thing, my first thought when I read the comments is this guy is recently named CEO. He's just fresh into the picture again. What was it, 6 months ago? Not even 6 months ago. He got renamed CEO.
Right.
So my first thought was, like, if I'm an investor, if I'm a shareholder, a significant shareholder in Disney, and this guy was just named CEO, stocks are plummeting. I mean, people are losing millions on Disney. Is this really something that you want this guy? Do you want this guy going out in public and saying these things?
No, not really.
Is that really something that you want to hear from your brand new CEO?
That you're paying $27 million.
And that's not including bonuses and all that other crap.
Honestly, no, I don't. I honestly feel where the actors are coming from when they're still getting banked off of for that performance and not getting anything off of it. I mean, I'm not saying they should be paid half of the money, but anything thrown that way.
All right, it's funny because, like, I think about this in the same way same in sports sometimes too. People, why are you complaining? You signed the contract.
Right.
You signed it.
I'm one of those people.
You knew exactly. That's kind of my point. You knew exactly what you were getting into. Mm-hmm. Did you have?
That's not entirely accurate, though.
I get paid for streaming because streaming came out after the fact. Everybody laughed at Netflix and thought that they weren't going to do anything. So it's not their fault that this is a new phenomenon.
Sure.
The actors in The Office didn't sign. What are they signing exactly for their? You're paying for the license. You're not paying the actors,
right? Well,
when you buy the license, the actors got paid once, but their likeness was used millions and millions and millions of times over.
Which is sure that's probably in their contract. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. TV shows get sold all the time. I don't know why that's what I'm saying. Even on reruns, I don't know why they're acting like this is something new to happen. The reruns are just taking place on a different platform.
Okay, so that
they weren't anticipating.
So your argument is valid for just The Office, but if I can take Michael Scott and just use that image and then create,
you're arguing something completely different. You are. Hold on. Let's finish this first.
Because what I'm saying is, you worked that one time, you did that job.
Yeah.
Boom. They use it somewhere else, and they're still making money off of it.
Right.
You still got paid for that one time.
So here's the argument for me is that, we argued that we signed a contract that we'd be on TV, we'd be properties of whatever this company is. And now they're wanting to use a whole new medium, an entirely different setup with streaming. That's where they're going, hold on now. You're putting us on this. We didn't sign anything about this.
Doesn't matter. You signed the contract and I have your licensing. So I have the license.
Right.
Therefore, I can do whatever I want.
What I'm saying is it's happening outside of that contract, outside of that license, because if it's not covered, then it needs to be brought back to the table, which is kind of what the actors are arguing right now. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. But I mean, that's licensing. They never have they don't write in the contract, I have the licensing. You think RDJ has the licensing to Iron Man?
No, Marvel's got that, but his performance as Tony Stark, there you go. That's the challenge. I mean, the fact that these guys are signing on to play it, and then they're being made wildly popular, and much, much more money is being made off of their face. Sure, I get the contract. I get that, but this is not something that was foreseeable at the time. Like if there's a whole new form of media that gets developed next week and this thing blows up and it's all recorded on a different medium, so they say, hey, by the way, this just made $10 billion, but you're not going to get any money off of it. Have a nice day. You'd have an issue with it.
I mean, that's the whole
see, who are we comparing though? To we're comparing Robert Downey Jr., a guy who made $250 million acting for the MCU. We're comparing him to the guy that played Pam's ex-fiance on The Office.
Yes, we are.
But and also in that same breath, if the company they make this movie, they get paid, and the movie eats shit and they lose $10 billion, are they going to come out of their pockets to make them right?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
So yeah, the star is always going to get paid, but we're not. This isn't really affecting those guys at the top. This is affecting the background actors, the secondary actors, the minor role actors. And the argument isn't even the streaming. The argument is I can record you one time, use your voice and your image. A lot of people can already use that, but AI can literally just plug
Hello, we're talking about something different.
Yes, I know you're talking
we'll get
about
back
streaming.
to the AI in a second.
I know you're talking about streaming revenue. I get it 100%.
Okay. We'll get to the AI in a second.
But I mean, it's
he's like Barney Fife, and the one bullet in his revolver is fucking AI. He just can't wait to shoot that gun.
You're not wrong. We will talk about the AI. We're talking about the actors right now and the different mediums of their content being released, which Ryan is right. It's not their content. They don't own it.
They don't own it. And they never
I get his argument 100%, but I do think that there is a legit beef for the guys at the bottom of the totem pole on where their likeness is being used. And to be honest, I think a great argument, a great analogy to be used is college athletes.
Yep, I was going to go back to that. Don't get me wrong.
Their likeness is being used in media such as video games. They sell jerseys, they sell T-shirts, they sell memorabilia.
Game day.
Now, I don't necessarily agree with excuse me. I don't agree with them making millions of dollars.
Of course you don't.
Because they're children.
They're not all.
Let's be honest about it. They're 18-year-old kids. We don't need to pay somebody $7 million to play quarterback at 18 years old.
Well, they're paying that kid out of Tennessee.
It is
podcast. Keep going.
It is an analogy. The likeness is being used in areas that they did not agree upon originally. Right. So there is a discussion to be had there.
I think there's a lot of gray area with this, which is why they're even able to go to it and make the strike.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for them getting paid. I just think now going forward, that better be one of the things that they hash out.
Now let's talk about the AI part. Now, the fact that they can get anybody's likeness, their voice, and use it and only pay them one time, no, that's fucked. And I think
that's where I go back to Ryan's argument.
This is where I go back to oh God, there was an argument just for this where they could just use it in perpetuity, and it doesn't work. You can't do that. Yeah. You'd have to use that. You'd have to pay me every single time you use my likeness and my voice.
Just think about it.
Think about freaking Vin Diesel in Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Every time that man, every movie, he had to say "I am Groot" a million different ways, and he got paid for it.
He said it in different languages too.
Yeah, they could have just reused "I am Groot," but they didn't, and they paid him.
But this even goes to writers. If you wrote like 7 short story scripts for 7 Lamb,
right,
they would take all 7 of those, put it into the chat GPT and say, write me another story this guy's way. You understand what I'm saying? It's not just like what they looks like. It's even writing. And we're talking art. It's doing writing. It's doing images. It's doing graphic design. It's doing everything. So basically these studios
are saying, why are we paying
you $20 million when we can pay $20 million for this program one time and just eradicate you?
Yeah. No, I get it.
This goes back to Ryan's point is actually more valid here with the AI is all brand new stuff.
Yeah.
So if you went and you had your pictures taken, video taken, and you signed on the dotted line, hey, I'm only getting paid once for this, that is your fault.
Yep.
Now, do I agree with it? Should they be doing that? No, they should not be allowed to just pay somebody one time and use it 1,000 times. I don't agree with that. But if you did agree to that in contract, that is your fault. 100%.
Yep. I agree.
Hey, Disney, if y'all need somebody, drive me 2 commas. You can use my shit till I die.
2 commas?
2 commas. At least $1 million.
1 million.
Bro, I bet you they give you 500,000.
It's not 1 million.
500,000. You might be like, yeah, you can have it.
Shit, 500,000. You can have it. Go ahead.
I don't see. I mean, I get this is maybe like a project or production thing. ease of production where you don't have to have personalities. You don't have to have somebody with writer's block. You don't have to worry about if that actor doesn't show up or they pull an Axl Rose on you where they sign up and then they don't show up. I see that, but that's, I think, taking the art out of that a little bit.
Can I just say
take the human element out of it?
Yeah.
So Bob Iger was made the captain of a sinking ship already. Disney was already on the way down before he took over a second time. They were already on the way down.
Sinking ship.
I mean, their stock prices.
As far as they were going, that's one of the reasons he was brought back.
That's why he was brought back.
Right. But that was because of a very specific reason. But go ahead.
The other most interesting thing he said in that interview he talked about how these actors are making too much money.
Well, I'm gonna wholeheartedly disagree with that one. I don't think they're.
So you don't think like $25 million for like a ScarJo to make a movie? Granted, these are all hypothetical numbers. I don't know what they exactly get paid. Isn't a lot of money?
No, it is a lot of money, but the problem is, we're gonna go back to the whole. You're gonna pay me $10, and then you're gonna turn around and go out and make $1,000. Why are you paying me $10? You need to pay me $500.
Honestly, it goes back to what you guys said earlier about RDJ. He makes that movie. He makes the MCU. He's paid what he's worth.
Yeah.
To be quite honest. How many billions of dollars did they make because of...
And he's one of one.
He allowed that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, not to open up too big of a can of worms, but was Patrick Mahomes worth his $400 million contract?
$500 million. Put some respect on his
name. $500 million every dime, right?
Yeah. I mean, 4 years in, 3 Super Bowl experiences, 2 wins.
Yeah, he was good in Avengers. The
other thing I was going to say
is like, again, those are one of one guys. We're talking about the Agent Coulsons of the world.
Oh, of course.
And Hayley Atwells of the world. And, the little guys.
Tier guys.
Those are the people who are really getting hurt by this. Oppenheimer's about to go off in theaters. Those people are making their money. They're talking about the smaller people, and they just want to, I guess, come a little bit closer than, the profit margin is wildly in favor of the studio. And I get that the studio is taking the risk.
But
they also need to invest in their risk by paying for somebody who is going to bring them an A+ product, right?
That's true.
And the marketing and all the other things.
The thing also is like mid-tier people. I mean, you can go to LA. How many people busting tables are actors?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a super saturated market where you just give somebody a chance and they could blow up.
Yes, could, which is why some of those other folks that will do well are worth the price.
Yeah, like, I mean, those big names, you've earned it. I mean, you're not going to pay Denzel Washington $5 to be in a movie.
We actually just saw it with Margot Robbie and Adam, what's his name?
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. They said, no, sorry, you don't want to pay us enough money, because they are very blessed to know how this whole thing is going to work.
Yeah.
So they probably looked at that check and said, guys, you're going to make 100 times what you're offering to pay me.
Maybe.
It is a Fantastic Four movie.
Just saying, there's.
But yeah, I get what you're saying, though, especially Margot Robbie, because she also understands the commitment in time, because she's been in Suicide Squad,
right,
and all the other shit that she had to do for DC.
But the thing that I'm looking with some of these projects is like dropping a match in waste paper and saying maybe it'll catch on fire. There's a good fucking chance it will. You have all the elements that show something is going to be wildly successful. The maybe really isn't that big of a deal. If you go to me and say, all right, man, we've got an action movie and we've got the kid who busses tables over at Tony and Nello's, who's going to show up to be the main, or you go, we've got Jason motherfucking kick you in the head Statham. So there's a bigger chance that we're going to be successful.
I'm rooting for the busser.
Then yeah, I am too. But you get the point that I'm trying to make here, right?
100%.
But see, that's also the same thing. It's like you go for the big guys. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to take some mid tier. If you're going to make an action movie, you're going to go for Jason Statham, The Rock, somebody.
Yeah,
easily. That kind of status.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
No.
That's true.
No rant.
And I almost said The Rock when I was mentioning people that are instantly marketable, because that's him.
It. Like
The Rock.
But you're also talking about like mid-tier people now. So I mean, it's kind of like just like us at work. Hey, you want more money? Why am I going to pay you more when I can hire this guy for this much?
And in a positive note, The Rock is the reason that this whole thing, not the reason, but he's a perfect example of why all this shit is happening, because that guy is a 100% draw. He is going to get markets all over the world to show up to the movie theaters. He's somebody that you pay, and you pay well, because you know what you're getting when you hire him. However, they didn't pay the writers they should have paid for the movies that he was doing. So there's two sides to that.
That's the other thing too, is some of these stories that are getting written haven't been great.
Yeah.
So if you're going to put out a subpar product and it's not great, why should you make blockbuster like crazy amounts of money?
This is actually going to lead into the next part of this. Too many Marvel series are weakening the audience and weakening their focus and attention. This is another quote from good old Bobby I.
I feel like I can confirm, and I 100% that.
I think parts of it are right. Because you guys remember after Endgame, we got this big, massive Disney presentation talking about all these shows. And I think at one point we weren't going to go a week without a Marvel drop for something like 7 months.
Yeah.
Right. And we were like, holy shit. I just hope they can do it. Well, clearly they couldn't. So that's where I think the release schedule was too optimistic. It was too what's the word I'm looking for? Ambitious.
Yeah.
It was too ambitious.
It wasn't a quantity problem. It was a frequency problem, is what it was.
It was a quality problem. Yeah.
We needed all of these shows. You're not going to have a She-Hulk movie,
but you're
not going to have a Loki movie, but we didn't need all of these shows back to back like that. Right. We could have separated them by several months, and they could have put more time into the production, and they could have been better quality, and we wouldn't be having this problem.
I could do without Miss Marvel. I could do without She-Hulk. I could do without WandaVision. I could do with...
Okay.
You named 3 shows with female leads, Nello.
That's got nothing to do with it.
It's not your...
I like She-Hulk. I said I could do without it.
I'm just saying.
Well, WandaVision was actually very important. We needed WandaVision.
That's what I was going to make.
Very important and one of the best shows they've ever done.
Best.
To me, WandaVision was the only one that you actually needed to see with all the movies coming out in this phase so far.
Other than
Loki.
Honestly,
well, no, you're right.
Parts really Loki has played in any of that?
Any of it? Yeah,
none.
We saw Kang for the first time.
Right, but Loki's had nothing to do with that.
Exactly. You saw Kang someplace else. You didn't need that.
Right.
That's kind of where I'm feeling. I'm like, I'm watching all this stuff, and I haven't seen anything that ties any of this together except for Doctor Strange with
the introduction to the TVA. Deadpool's movie is all about the TVA.
So the point that we're making is you haven't seen any of that yet.
To this point, that's what I'm saying.
Miss Minutes and that Kang have not been seen anywhere other than He Who Remains, and we only know that from the last 5 minutes of Loki, is what he's saying.
Yeah. So to me, it's just like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the Falcon Winter Soldier as a buddy cop kind of thing. That was fun.
I loved it. Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
But there's some things like I like She-Hulk, and I still never finished it.
As a fanboy, I loved Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye wasn't
best. I've been saying this for months though too. I do think that a lot of the pieces are going to start slowly falling into place.
Yep.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think a lot of that ties into the next Captain America movie and the Thunderbolts.
And Secret Invasion.
I think that we're going to have a lot more of Loki tie into the upcoming Kang saga. So I think there are going to be pieces that fall into place here shortly.
Now, see the way they've been pivoting. I wonder if they'll end up pivoting, because these shows haven't done movies, I should say, haven't done great like other ones. Like they haven't done well like Black Panther or freaking Endgame,
Love and Thunder.
Exactly. Like they've all been pretty bad.
It's a different
especially money wise.
Well, Guardians did very well.
That's probably the best
one. Only one that's really saved anything so far. Shang-Chi is really good, but
Spider-Man 3 did very good too in the box office.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, but
No Way Home.
And technically that's owned by Sony. They're just, you know what I mean?
But it's part of the MCU.
Yes. But I'm saying maybe they start to be like, hey, you know what? They're spending a lot of money and people aren't going to see these anymore. Maybe we dial this back a little bit.
I think you're right. I think dialing it back, not of what you're releasing, just when you're releasing it, and making sure that when you're looking at something, Miss Marvel, it was a perfect example. I thought that was a great character that had to be introduced into the MCU. She's about to be in the Marvels movie. She is our first mutant that we've gotten in the MCU, and she targets a massive audience for young kids that want to get into the MCU. She was really great. Her writing and her story arc was just terrible.
I just fell asleep
so
while you were
bad.
talking
And
about
I
her.
think that girl, what's her name? Iman Vellani?
Yeah,
I
something
think
like that.
she is definitely going to be a great staple in the MCU going forward, especially for street level heroes. It's just tough, man. The way they released her was just, I don't know.
It was god awful.
Yeah. It was not good writing. It was not good acting other than her and her family. Her and her family, I could watch an entire series of.
We didn't need a show. It could have been a limited part series, a
That's
one
what
or
it was.
two, but like a 1 or 2 episode thing. I didn't need it drawn out for 8 episodes or whatever it was.
To be quite honest, I would have just liked to seen it in a movie. Like, show me how she gets her powers, show me who she is or whatever. Give me an origin story.
Maybe
Let's go.
condense that with like in the Marvels movie.
Exactly. Tie it kind of into the Marvels movie. That's what I was
actually.
thinking.
You know what? Nello actually, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Nello might have a pretty good point. If you have a street level character like a Miss Marvel, give them 2 1-hour episodes and then introduce her into the Marvels movie. Where we don't need an entire series. You just give her a little bit of back history, give her a little bit of so the 2 episodes would release a month before the movie or 2 weeks before the movie.
Yeah.
Same thing with She-Hulk. We didn't need 5 or 6 episodes. We could have just done it in 3 or 1 2-hour episode, and just
you guys are forgetting that these are different target audiences than who's on camera right now. So there's a lot of people who find that important, because then you run into the issue where you say, oh, okay, so when it's going to be this character, they get a show, they get this, but when it's the female superhero, she gets a 2-hour special. They're trying to make it an even playing field.
But Miss Marvel leads into the Marvels. It's an all-female led movie.
I know, but when everybody else is getting the series, and
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
That's the only point I'm making, and I just think that I'll take it a step further. In this day and age, in 2023, you don't need origin stories for every hero.
Amen.
But see, I kind of think
Amen.
To me, I somewhat, if you're putting it on the screen and being the MCU, I kind of think you do. On some people, on certain people, especially if they're going to be big. And
Miss Marvel, you needed an origin for Miss Marvel. You don't need an origin story for She-Hulk. You don't need an origin story for Spider-Man. The Fantastic Four doesn't even need an origin story in the MCU now.
No, I agree.
Yeah, most people know how they got their powers, especially from the other 2 movies.
I'll go back to one of these that we're not talking about that was a special that I feel was truly a masterpiece and just a great piece of MCU cinema, and that's Werewolf by Night. We got a 30-second slideshow of background before we got into the story, and they treated us as smart enough to understand the plot and the context, and they moved on.
And that was amazing, by the way, that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
I want more of that. I want more of monsters and the occult in there. I don't need just superheroes. Right. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
I'm down.
Which is why in 2030 I'm doubling down and saying Blade will be out by then.
Yeah.
No, Moon Knight's going to be in there.
I agree. I agree. And I just think that that they can definitely continue to build on a lot more than that. Let's finish with some actual Marvel news and then we'll take a quick break, okay? Hayley Atwell says her Peggy Carter cameo in Multiverse of Madness was frustrating because she said, I can do this all day, and then got cut in half by Captain America's shield. She said that was frustrating. Hayley, this was not meant to be Peggy Carter's coming out movie. This wasn't her big moment in the sun. I mean, she's been in What If. I'm sure they have plans for her from other universes and stuff like that. Sure, okay, it's frustrating, but
let's just see her in that spandex suit.
What's more frustrating? Just you not existing at all?
I mean, honestly, this is like one of those things going back to that. They seem to cry about everything, bro. I'm sorry. It's frustrating that I only got cut. Who cares, bro? You're on freaking TV.
Yeah.
I always laugh when actors come out after they've made something and they make comments like this because did you not read the fucking script before you did the movie?
Yeah.
But what if they
knew what was going to happen
afterwards?
And when they came to her and said, "Here's what's going to happen," she was like, "Oh, that's so cool."
But what if they changed it like after she signed, they rewrote it or reshot it? Like this
she still filmed it.
To quote Tony Stark, "There's no throne. There's no version of this where she comes out on top." She was fighting Wanda, and the whole purpose of introducing the Illuminati, the whole purpose was to hear an incursion monologue from John Krasinski so that you could set up what's happening in Doctor Strange's world and to show how powerful Wanda was. Those are the two things they accomplished by even jumping to another universe.
And I think the only reason why we're even hearing these comments from her is because that's probably one of the biggest criticisms of that movie is how they handled the Illuminati, which for content purposes, what you just said, it makes a lot of sense. That's all they needed the Illuminati for. A lot of people didn't like it. There was a little bit of backlash with how they treated John Krasinski, how they treated Black Bolt, and that's fine. They didn't need to be anything more than what they were. But I feel like if there wasn't criticism of the Illuminati in that movie, we don't hear anything from her.
Yeah, I agree. I just, again, this is another one with multiverse and stuff that they're bringing up now. Nobody's gone. Nobody is dead. Nobody's out, just like in real comics. So. I don't really want to hear this kind of stuff. Yeah, you were in basically a borderline Avengers movie with Multiverse of Madness with how many cameos and ultra power superheroes you got in that movie, whether they got to stretch their legs or not. In other news, Aman Vellani, who is the character or the actor who plays Miss Marvel, is actually co-writing a Miss Marvel comic. That's cool. This kind of stuff has happened before. Where guys will want to jump into their characters, but this is, to me, I wasn't going to bring it up except for the fact that it's kind of like one of those arguments I'm always talking about where I love when people who play characters really truly love them, and she could have just said, "Oh, that's cool, great, I'll play her when you're ready." You know what I mean? But for her to come in and be dedicated to the character and really trying to build her story, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too.
I think we talked about this a little bit last week, but the legendary Star-Lord movie concept, I just wanted to expand on that.
Why do we need it?
Because it's an A-tier star who's been an Avenger and done a lot in the universe.
Why does he need his own movie? Isn't Guardians his own movie?
No.
But why not though?
Yeah, why not?
It's called Guardians, not Star-Lord.
Right.
I mean, isn't Captain America an Avenger? Isn't Thor an Avenger? Isn't Iron Man an Avenger? They all got their own movies.
Yeah. I think of all the characters in that, maybe Gamora is the only other character that could get a standalone movie that I'd want to watch.
I'm not sure I could watch a whole movie of like Peter Quill.
I also would love to watch a whole movie of Rocket, but the Guardians are not done. Rocket's Guardians are going to continue to be a staple in the MCU.
I'm getting that on.
I'm getting that arm.
Kit Harington was being interviewed and saying that there were never any plans for him to be in a Blade movie as what is he, Black Knight?
Black Knight.
Yes.
Black Knight. Yeah, I agree. There's no reason for you to be there. If it's a Blade movie, make it Blade. Maybe
honestly,
throw
do
Doctor Strange in there.
See him again at all?
I think so. Yes, I think we do.
That was the whole. It seemed like that was the whole purpose of
him.
The whole movie. To me,
if he's not going to be in Blade, I don't know if we see Kit Harington again in the MCU. I mean, he is a street level guy.
Unless you see like a Dark Avengers kind of thing.
Yeah, he's not really a powerful S tier guy that you're going to want in the Kang Avengers movies.
Moon Knight's going to be in Blade. Oscar Isaac said he's going to be in there.
That'd be awesome.
That would be sick.
Them throw down. I personally am taking Blade in that fight, but I still think that would be amazing to watch.
If that's how they're going to set up Midnight Suns, right? Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, that's their plan from what I was reading.
Yeah. And speaking of the SAG strike, Deadpool 3 has officially stopped filming and halted production with SAG.
I'm actually good with this. I said this in the group chat. This will allow them, when everything is said and done, to allow Ryan Reynolds that freedom of improvisation during filming. They won't have to go back and touch up a whole lot of scenes. Once they resume production, boom, we get classic Deadpool. So I'm all right with this, actually.
Yeah.
See, this is what I don't understand. Why can't he just deviate now? Like, I don't get it.
It has to be written in the script.
Right. For them to be able to film it and produce it, it has to be written in the script. Or SAG will not allow. I think that's why it truly stopped. I'm sure they were filming whatever the hell they wanted, and then only reporting certain stuff. I'm sure, but with the SAG, that's everybody on set. Yeah. That's everybody. So, let's take our first break. We ran a little long here, actually, but that's good. We'll get into DC movies, TV, and we're gonna finish out with gaming today. How fun! All right, gang. We'll see you in a minute. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 152 of the Alter Ego podcast.
Are you sure this is 152?
Here's
I know
that
last week.
Audio chocolate in your ear holes. David Corn Sweat, we already talked about last week. Being
Sounds like
Superman.
A made-up person.
Or like 2 weeks ago.
And then we also talked about Nathan Fillion being Guy Gardner and having the traditional bowl cut that character's going to have.
I am excited.
I have a feeling he's going to look over the top, which I'm all right with. I mean,
yeah, that's going to be good. I don't know. That'll be interesting. And then Anthony Kerrigan, who's from the show Barry, he plays one of the mafiosos in Barry.
He's actually one of the best actors in that show.
Well, it's really him,
Winkler, and who's Barry himself? I forget.
Henry Winkler. Oh my gosh! I
always forget his name.
You know who I'm
Bill Hader.
Yeah, Bill Hader.
Bill Hader, and his mentor is also another fantastic actor. But yeah, he's signed on as Metamorpho. So somebody commented and said, Metamorpho. I thought this was a movie about Superman. And James Gunn has been very active as a head of DC in responding to people on Twitter. Why, I don't know. But he has, and he went to him and was like, Superman is a story about Clark and Superman, 2 different lives, and a lot of people and a lot of things that he interacts with. So why would I just make it, one dimensional? I think he was kind of taking shots at prior Superman movies, but he's got a point, and I personally don't care. If you're going to throw all these characters in there, great. But I just,
I actually
subject matter for me, Superman. We know how I feel about that.
I actually think the most important casting in that movie is Lex Luthor, because they've already missed once with the guy from The Social Experiment. I don't think
they. Well, I agree. As a Lex Luthor, I think they missed.
They missed, right?
He's a fantastic actor. I like Jesse.
Don't get me wrong. Eisenberg is a great actor.
Yeah,
and he could have played a different, but he just didn't fill the role of Lex Luthor. He didn't look that. He didn't have that aura. He didn't have that persona. You know what I mean? He didn't command like Lex Luthor does.
Well, he didn't have your typical Lex Luthor. He was trying to, dare I say, Heath Ledger.
He was like Riddler-ish. It was weird
because we've always had a particular Joker, and then you have Heath Ledger go with a little bit more off the rails Joker, and that was wildly well received. Everybody loved that. I've never heard anybody that was like, that Joker sucks.
No, I don't think that's right.
I wouldn't take them seriously if somebody said that.
It's weird that you just say that. I don't even remember another Joker now that I don't. I mean, other than the bad ones, like
Jared Leto. Jared Leto did it.
Like I said, he's bad. I don't even think about that.
Nicholson.
So Leto suffered from the same thing. Let me try to be more different as a Joker. No, okay.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, who I think for that version did a fantastic job, but I think that movie didn't even need to be called Joker. That could have been anything.
Yeah, that could have been Disturbed Mind of Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah,
it would have been amazing.
Mental health awareness.
Yeah, no, it certainly could have.
What other Jokers? Are we missing one?
Yeah, there's the original,
the guy from the Batman
icon.
Show?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I know he's got a Hispanic
name. We had that abomination from the Batman. Who had like 20 seconds of screen time.
Who, by the way, is one of the Eternals, that guy. Interesting. And I hope we don't see him. I hope that is
no, I think they've already said that he's not going to be the Joker. Like that's not the version of the Joker they're going with.
Doesn't the Penguin come out soon, or is that where am I wrong?
I haven't heard anything about it. Honestly, they're working on that one in the dark for that Batman universe. So I'm excited. I think that would be good, especially with the way
Colin Farrell
handled it.
You know what? This is one of those times where if AI could do something, just take Heath Ledger's Joker, run him.
Oh God!
So when they are deceased, that's interesting.
Hey, his family's estate. They can say what they
I know, but
he's got kids.
Here you go. Quick question. You could go back in time and save one of two people: Steve Irwin or Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin.
Crikey,
Steve Irwin.
I want to go have a beer with the man.
No. Steve Irwin did so much more for the planet other than just entertain us. Steve Irwin in a heartbeat, no questions asked. I love you, Heath. You're my favorite movie supervillain of all time. You're great. No, Steve Irwin, 10 times out of 10.
I have to agree.
Bro, you save him from a stingray, then he turns on and get ate by a croc next week. It doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? He did what he was gonna do.
Who knows? So yeah, that's all we've got for DC is a couple of casting announcements for that. So that they're kind of quiet right now in terms of the movie biz, movies and TV. The Witcher season 3 is down 30% in viewership from season 2. Raise your hand if you're super shocked about that.
I think people are waiting to binge the whole thing.
Can I see it? Can you see it now? You can see it.
I can see it.
I am surprised. I am shocked.
Okay, I know why. I know why. Go ahead. Finish.
Nah, really not. Most people probably like me and think that Geralt's no longer played by
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, they're just giving up on the series.
They know that he's on his way out, and so they're like, "Oh, well, we don't care then."
You watch once the show
literally
releases completely because they're doing that halftime shit, half now, half later. Once it releases completely, you'll see the numbers go up.
That didn't happen with Stranger Things though.
I'm going to disagree with you for this
Stranger
reason
Things
too.
has been drawn out way too much.
But he's got a point. But I've got to tell you, Witcher season 1, Witcher season 2. I was day one, watched through the whole thing, enjoy it, review it, talk about it. I have not watched one frame of Witcher season 3 because I just can't find myself being invested because I know my favorite part of the series, and this is nothing against the Hemsworth kid, because I think he'll eventually knock it out of the park. I just love Henry Cavill as the character. And to know that the production of that show was like, it's kind of a joke, and they were kind of talking shit about it. That goes back to Aman Vellani from Miss Marvel wanting to make a comic book. We've talked about Henry Cavill enough on this show that we all know he is a diehard fan. He is that superhero or that celebrity that you want on your trivia team when you're talking about the stuff that he gets invested in. So for him to go, screw you, I'm leaving. It kind of makes me go, why should I be invested in this?
And how dumb are they for not listening to him? You know what I mean? Like a person who has that kind of clout, and we all as nerds love him. Yeah. He's like, no, don't do that. I'm like a Witcher specialist. That's why I signed up for this. What you're doing is bullshit.
Yeah.
And they're still like,
if he stops taking someone seriously, everyone else was never taking it seriously to begin with.
Right.
I know we've talked about this in the past, but do you think it was maybe a little bit of an ego trip on the writers and the producers of the show saying, you know what, we don't really need you. We are the reason why this show is good. And we like your opinions, but we can go somewhere else and you don't.
I don't think on the writer's behalf. No, I don't think on the cast's behalf.
Directors.
I think producers and executive producers are like, I don't know, man, Geralt doesn't need to do this. We just need Henry Cavill chopping people's heads off. You know what I mean? That's probably the mentality is like, we don't really care. We're going to have to, extend this story out by this much. And Henry's like, you really don't want to do that. And they're like, well, we don't care, And Henry's like, well, if you don't care, I don't care.
And that's a problem too, because that's one of the biggest complaints I have about Netflix shit series. They last too long, bro. Sometimes make them just
that's a lot of shows
need to be, and then end it.
Have you ever noticed the good ones seem to end fast and the shit ones just keep on coming?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
It's all those long series. You talk to any fan of the show and they'll go, it was good up until
this point. Exactly.
And that's just one of those things. Speaking of things that I hope don't get drawn out forever, The Last of Us. I restarted watching that last night when video games got super boring. I was like, let me throw on Last of Us. And that first episode still hits just as hard. And that second episode opener, I'm like, God damn, this show was on to something, man.
Bro, this is a show that I've actually put a few people on. And somebody was just asking me about it the other day. And I was like, I've started to play the game.
Yeah.
But I was like, the show was frame for frame, like I said, where I left off on the game. It was that entire first episode. I'm not even joking. Where it ended is where I ended up and stopped playing.
Yep.
So I was like, oh shit, I can't wait to see how this goes. I don't even know if I'm going to play the game now. Because
you should play the game.
If this don't run out the way this show did, I'm going to be a little disappointed.
You should play the first game.
Yeah. Well, I still think it's so funny, man. People are so like rabid about their characters because everybody has been saying, "Oh man, well the second one sucks because it didn't go the way you wanted it to go."
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it sucks. It means something happened that you didn't like. People being that emotionally invested in a game because of a character death, that means that Naughty Dog, the studio that put that together, did something right.
Exactly.
Yep.
If it pissed you off that much, damn, man, that's some good writing right there.
Game of Thrones was notorious for that. For the first 4 or 5 seasons of that show, you had people that you loved so much, all of a sudden, boom, axed.
Yeah, done. With no second thought either.
And then the final season happened, and everyone's like, "Wow."
Yeah, and George, what's his name? George R. Martin, as my boy Butters likes to call him. George R. Martin. I don't want to see that. It's always just another wiener. Everybody keeps telling me to watch Game of Thrones, and all I see is wiener, wiener, wiener. Oh God, dude! He's still going to finish Winds of Winter, maybe next year.
We'll wait. We'll get there eventually.
We'll be right here, George.
How's he going to change the ending in the books compared to the show?
It's not changing. He's still sticking to his story.
Yeah.
So what they put on
it's
screen,
not his story. I know.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it is. It's
Not
just a rushed version.
There is no way he's going to end the story with that happening at the end.
All I know is The Last of Us was nominated for 24 Emmys, including Best Drama.
Hey, bro, it should win every fucking one of them.
Yeah, I agree. There's not anything wrong with this show, in my opinion. Having watched it, I was like, show's perfect.
Has there been a show that has been, I don't want to say as good or better? Have you seen anything worth a damn besides that so far this year? Andor?
I would tell anybody I know to watch Andor if they've seen Star Wars and they're a huge fan, or they've never seen a single frame or anything about the Force. Andor is one of the best shows I've ever seen. Band of Brothers, Andor, Last of Us, Breaking Bad. Those are all good shows.
I've been rewatching Breaking Bad. It's so good.
Sorry, didn't mean to go off on a tangent. But,
The Wire, and then Last of Us.
I haven't seen
Sopranos.
Sopranos is good.
So, like, this show, it is actually absolutely crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
I will probably watch it again, too, just like he did. I'll probably watch it again, just for fun.
Okay.
And I don't like watching things.
Let's get into gaming, shall we? So the Gaming Commission, I don't know who it was, they tried to appeal the ruling in favor of Xbox.
Did they?
And that got overruled. They were like, no, we're not going through this again. Sorry, you lose.
But you're going to buy all of the video
games. You're going to have all of our games. It's $80 million.
Where Sony and Microsoft and Activision all came to an agreement saying they're all going to play nice with each other.
Well, no. Stop right there. That's never been the case. Xbox from day one has said, we will never keep this game from PlayStation. We want them to have it because we're not worried about exclusives. We want to make money. So from day one, before this Activision even started, they were like, hey, yeah, we're keeping this on PlayStation, just so everyone knows. And PS4 was like, well, no way, buddy. you. Sorry, not going to get into it. Xbox really signed a binding agreement with PlayStation over Call of Duty. So it's done. Oh my God, that's crazy. Xbox did exactly what they said they were going to do. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you though. If I was Xbox, I'm about to hey, you want Call of Duty? My boys over here, they want Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That's right.
It was a smart business decision for Microsoft to do this because they now own Activision. Why would you cut all of that revenue stream out of your company?
Yeah,
exactly.
PlayStation's going to make $80 million off of it. How much do you think Xbox is going to make?
So you own one of the biggest console gaming companies out there, and you just bought one of the biggest CPU gaming companies out there in Blizzard,
if not the biggest.
Yeah, I think Microsoft is going to be in a whole different category when it comes to games. I hope they don't drop the ball.
That's the thing, is that's what they've been transitioning to for the last few years.
Their exclusives have not been very well.
Exactly. They haven't been on exclusives. They don't care about exclusives. Xbox,
I don't like Gears.
I love Gears. So.
Xbox isn't about exclusives. Right. Xbox is a freaking ecosystem,
a community.
Bro. Like
that's a good way to put it.
Exactly what they are. Like you have cloud gaming, you have everything. They want it to be everywhere because everywhere, guess what? Xbox makes money. Let's not forget, Microsoft is Microsoft first. Xbox in that little department, that's small change compared to everything. That's why they can buy what they do. Like, they don't give a shit about that.
Uncle Bill, can we go buy Sony?
Yeah, whatever.
Exactly.
Get out of my room.
Exactly my point. Like, if they really wanted to flex, they could buy Sony if they would sell it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, reason Sony's crying is because they don't have $70 billion to just go, hey, here, little kid. You know what I mean?
We
like,
still got Spider-Man.
If you really think about it, bro, in the last few years, they spent almost $100 billion on just buying companies.
I mean, have you seen the exclusives that are coming out for PlayStation? Rhino would know them more in
Yes, it's the same thing that
Wolverine,
they already have. Wolverine,
Black Panther. What else is it? Do you remember, Rhino?
It was Wolverine, Black Panther. God, there was one other one, and I can't remember off the top of my head.
But there's
like 4 or 5 PlayStation exclusives coming out within the next 4 or 5 years. Ghost 2,
it's Wolverine, Black Panther, and Captain America was the other one that you're thinking of. And now they're talking about doing, from the studio that did Shadow of Mordor, a Black Panther style game. If they do Black Panther style combat with like Arkham Asylum fighting or Shadow of Mordor fighting, let's go. That would be one of the greatest games ever.
Yeah.
It could be, or it could end up just like freaking Avengers did when it came out. Like,
well, I see now. This is where I'll stand on this hill. If they make the Black Panther game and the Wolverine game with the same quality that they made Spider-Man, it'll be right up there towards the top of greatest PlayStation exclusives that exist.
And
because Spider-Man is up there.
Yeah, and I think my God, Spider-Man. I think you've got a point, though.
Iron
Ryan.
Man is one of those games.
I think PlayStation eventually is going to have to come off of some of these exclusives.
They eventually are.
And I think Xbox would be like, yeah, you want to play Halo? I mean, your system won't be able to support a lot of it, but you can have it.
Halo's probably ones that I don't think they will because that's been an Xbox exclusive from day one.
Gears,
didn't PlayStation buy Bungie?
Yeah,
and they have the right, or did Bungie sell?
Bungie no longer does Halo. Yeah,
they were.
But wasn't GTA an exclusive for the longest time?
GTA is an exclusive. Grand Theft Auto,
Rockstar.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking Gran Turismo. No, Rockstar.
No, I thought Grand Theft Auto was a PlayStation exclusive. No, all right.
Was San Andreas PlayStation only?
No.
Okay, because I have it on Xbox.
Let's talk about the other guy in the room that nobody's talking about. Everybody wants to talk about PlayStation. Everybody wants to talk about Xbox, but Nintendo, baby. Happy 40th birthday, Nintendo.
Happy 40th.
Happy birthday, Mario.
It's a me. All right. Happy birthday. And Rano, you said you want to talk a little bit about something with us?
I was just going to go around the room and talk about everybody's favorite NES game.
NES.
So it's the 40th birthday of NES.
Oh, okay.
1983 is when the Nintendo Entertainment System was introduced to the world, and that gave us Donkey Kong and Mario and Tetris and all kinds of great games. Super Mario 3 is where everything got started for me.
Yeah,
that's you had the whistles and the raccoon.
In terms of video games in general.
Yeah, that's where my whole gaming life started, with Super Mario 3.
Nice.
Man, and it
was actually my grandma that introduced me to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those are some of...
You see what I'm looking at here? Because I thought we were going Nintendo in general, so I had to pull up...
Bro, Mike Tyson's Punch
all
Out
of
for
it.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excite Bike.
Come on, guys. Legends of Zelda, the original.
How about
Mega
Newspaper
Man.
Boy?
Paperboy, yeah.
Paperboy? You guys remember Paperboy?
Dragons.
Contra. That game right there is probably the best game.
Ninja Turtles 2.
The arcade
game, the Ninja Turtles 2
That game was hard as fuck, bro.
It was really hard, but I enjoyed it.
Ninja Turtles 1 was the really hard one that was basically impossible to beat.
Right.
Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden was Sega.
No, it wasn't. That was Nintendo, bro. How much you want to put on it? I got a
Battletoads is also a really good game.
Is there a crispy dollar involved?
Yeah, I'll bet you $1.
All right, look it up. Guaranteed.
All right,
hit him with the horn, Tony.
The red case, it's got a red front with a black ninja.
Speaking of NES games, 13% of games released before 2010 are commercially available.
Or whatever.
I'm just gonna mute Nello real quick.
And Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah. 13% of games released before 2010 are commercially available right now. Only 13%. Isn't that insane? I just want NFL Street back.
Bro, I want NBA Street so bad. I've been screaming this. I want this game. I'm trying to find a PlayStation, and I'm thinking just so I can play it again.
I want NFL Blitz back.
Oh my God, I want NFL Blitz back.
Yeah, it was a fun game. I just prefer Street.
Yeah, Street to me was a little better.
They did that though. Series. They did that though in the Madden this year. They had a NFL Street version.
No, that's not. There's no way. That's not what they had. Not like when you could customize your little backyard gear that you wanted.
You can do that in this one.
I'm just saying, like, not in the style of the other one.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, in this one, I'm sure they're going to let Patrick Mahomes run up the wall. And you know what I mean, and just like have ultimates and stuff like that. I don't know. I miss that game so much.
Guy talking shit. He's eating up. Oh, that last jumper.
Have any of you guys? Nobody in this room is single. Anybody know anybody trying to hook up with a bear locally? Because interest in this Baldur's Gate game has skyrocketed since people found out they could have sex with a bear.
Oh my God, what the fuck is going on with people?
Man,
what is wrong with people, man?
Listen, first of all, people who feel like you could fight a bear and win clearly haven't crunched the numbers. No. You have not thought about the science lying in front of you.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, I swear up with a little cub bear right now.
Jackie Moon
listen, if you take the smallest species of bear on the planet, smallest species of bear on the planet, that would be like fighting the largest dog that's ever existed on planet Earth. Probably with another 80 pounds added to it.
Isn't a red panda a small bear?
The red panda is, yeah.
I'm a fat guy though, so
but the red panda's technically not a bear though.
Panda is a bear though, right?
The red panda's not a bear.
Is it considered a fox or some shit?
No, I can't remember what it's considered, but it's not considered a bear. It's like the koala bear. The koala bear is not a bear. It's a marsupial.
Okay, I was about to say,
dude, koala bears will fuck you up if they get the chance.
Yeah, and they have chlamydia.
Yeah, they do.
The more you know.
That's actually a true thing. Like you can get chlamydia by being scratched from a koala.
With Rhino's animal fact, today you know that koalas have chlamydia.
So, fun fact I just saw in Australia to get rid of carp, they're actually using herpes to get rid of carp.
They're considered cats.
So they were considered part of the raccoon family in 1825. But now with DNA analysis, they have suggested that red pandas might belong in the bear family. Actually.
Cool. Either way, don't fight one.
I don't know. That's
our disclaimer.
Well, look at this cute little thing. You can't fight.
You can't fight that. I was gonna say red pandas are cute. You can't fight one.
Mm-hmm. And when they get scared, like they stand up and do this with their arms, and they just like, "What's up?"
My wife wants one so bad.
No, but didn't Jackie Moon fight the bear in semi-pro?
No, he didn't actually. He was locked in to fight the bear and then immediately ran. Assassin's Creed Codename Red set to release in 2024. This is the one that's in feudal Japan, correct?
Oh yeah, that one actually looks sick. I'm actually quite excited for that.
I need to see more because I probably won't play it on the sense that Odyssey and
I'm done.
What was the other one?
Valhalla and then
Valhalla. Both looked super fun, and then I saw how big the map was and just how much you had to do with it, and I was like, I don't have time for this.
That's Ubisoft. That's what they do.
Yeah.
The problem with every Assassin's Creed over the last 9 years, every single game is the same. You have a big chunk of the map that you have to unlock, and then you have a main storyline, then you have side quests, and it's all the same in every section.
The guys, when they're doing those media scrums, for go, this game is very overwhelming actually. So if you're a completionist, good luck. I
didn't know Mike Tyson played
so many years.
I didn't know Mike Tyson played Assassin's Creed.
But the Horizon franchise, speaking of PlayStation exclusives, is said to go on for a very long while. I actually fully support that. That seems like a very fun franchise.
What, the Horizon?
Yeah,
Horizon is a very good looking game, but the first one, at least the one that I played, got a little repetitive.
Yeah.
They all are.
So I used to play this game on PlayStation 2 called Shadows of the Colossus. This game looks like Shadows of the Colossus on steroids. Is that what this is?
I remember Shadows of the Colossus.
I remember Shadows of the Colossus.
That's a Kojima game, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a little different.
Yeah.
It's a little more free flowing.
I mean, a little bit more combat, because in that one you just climbed them and then stabbed them in certain spots.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Interesting.
It's more like
open worldish.
You do have like those big fights. It's almost like Monster Hunter, but against mech dinosaurs.
Gotcha.
Mech, like they're
Gotcha.
basically what are the Transformer Dinobots? They look like Dinobots.
Exactly. Like some of them are electric, and you can do all kinds of shit.
You guys are doing wonders for my my need to play this game.
It's a good play if you're bored.
It's actually a really good
why
game.
can't I boot this up right now?
They're too busy playing Diablo.
It is a very
Yes,
good
I
game,
am.
though.
By the way, Diablo Season 1 coming out on the 20th.
I
so
finally beat the campaign.
as of the
Can I
day,
get a
as of
congratulations?
today, congratulations. Let's hear it for Nello, huh?
Yay!
As of today, because that's when, which will be the 19th. Tomorrow, Season 1 starts for Diablo 4, and I've yet to play with any of you.
You play with Rhino all the time.
Bastards. I'm talking to the person out there listening in their car and their earphones. You
And
have
Ryan.
not joined the Discord. You've not come to Sanctuary with us to kill anything. I'm ashamed of you. To
I
be
killed my
quite
first
honest.
world boss yesterday too.
That's awesome. Good for you, man. Yeah, it's been really a fun game. I have taken a break this week because I want to dive into it so head first on the 20th and just spend hours and hours and hours grinding on that first season. So I've been playing a little Fortnite.
Have you guys decided what characters
Ugh,
do
so
for the season?
I said it in the Discord. I said, it is decided. And as soon as I said it was decided, it was immediately undecided.
You're like, nah, I don't know about that.
I know
I'm going Necro.
he's going Necromancer, but what build do you know?
I'm not sure yet.
Gotcha. You know, he's
That
never
one-
played Necromancer.
The one you sent me looks pretty interesting.
The Blood
I
Search.
just feel like
Well,
Necro
yeah.
is just such a OP class.
It's a great class.
Sorcerer's been pretty hard to play.
Beginning, middle, and Barbarian and Druid is just so slow in the beginning when you're leveling up.
That's my guy.
But they're all top tier. They're all like at the end, they're all the top tier builds. So I was going to go with a Storm Druid.
That was what you said,
Yeah.
but then you said you've changed your mind.
Yeah, because I played my Necro after that, and I was like, this is so much fun.
I think I'm going to go Berserker.
All right. Ryan,
Really?
who
For
you gonna
season
go
one?
I'm gonna go
Mhm.
with.
I went
Stay
Sorcerer
Black and
for this
Die.
whole thing.
with? Your character can be black and die.
I don't know. I still haven't picked it up yet, man. I go to pull the trigger on it, and I'm like, yeah, I got a lot going on. I still got to play Zelda. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to grind
And
this
yet
like
you're
that.
on Overwatch 2
I'm almost
all the time.
I am,
I'm almost tempted to play the new Blood.
and it's funny because you actually know how much I
and
actually
Immortal.
play.
Yeah.
I'm on it a lot. It's the screen's on there. How much I actually play? It's like 1-2 games and done. I don't actually play a lot of video games.
That was kind of like Jack and I's career on Overwatch. It was 1 or 2 games and then done forever.
on Overwatch.
Overwatch 2.
One,
Overwatch 2.
It's like we'll be on here for 6 hours grinding competitive, play a little arcade game, then get back in and going with the old faithfuls and just rocking and rolling. Overwatch 2, the beta, we were like, let's give it a shot. This will be fun. To the first time I played it live service, I was like, I'm uninstalling.
It was that quick too. We made it 1 game of comp, and I was like, nope.
Yep, I'm out. Anyway,
You guys aren't going to play the Blood
it wasn't
Crusader
Kojima who did
in
Shadow of the Colossus.
the Blood Knight in Diablo Immortal. The first new character that Blizzard has created for the Diablo franchise since the Paladin or the Crusader.
It's almost like we talked about it last week on the show.
Yep, should have been here.
I know, but I wasn't here.
All right, let's go
That
around
sucks.
the table here.
Oh, fine. Let's go around the table.
Favorite game all time, because there's a mathematical algorithm right now that says
Favorite game all
What?
time ever played.
what the greatest game of all time was mathematically. There's a list of 50, and number 1
Destiny 1.
is Breath
I
of the
gotta go
Wild.
the Division.
No way. Turtles in Time. I played that like so many times.
That's my number 2. It's the Division in this, but because how much time I've got in the Division, it's the Division.
So I've got to say, because of the community it built for me in my life, definitely Destiny 1.
No.
Yeah, because of all like raid nights, you would get on and you knew your boys were going to be there. You'd play all the time. But my Nintendo answer was going to be Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Oh shit, that's a good one.
College Friday nights, baby.
Oh
all
my
weekend.
God, NCAA. If that comes back, it's back to number 1.
I still beat you once, and I had the proof, and I showed it to you. Let's go, Penn State.
He beat me one time out of literally 50 times we played.
No matter, we got one.
Hey, good for you. But hey, guys, that's going to do it for us here. Episode 152 of the Alter Ego Podcast. Jack, Ryan, Rhino, Nello, thank you all so much for being here. We'll see you guys in 2 motherfucking weeks. But thank you so much for showing up. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Discord. Reach out to us wherever you're watching this. We're happy to get you hooked up. See you guys in a few weeks.
Stay black and die.
Stay black and then die.
Come play Seasons with us.
Yes. Get on the Discord. It's a thing. We miss you. My man's closing his computer.
Jesus.
All right, I'm out. I'm not watching this.